All right, welcome to Chris and His Love. You'll notice that we are in a bit of a different spot, a little bit more of a cozy spot this time. We got some new mics and thought we might try it this time. Also, it's warm. The room that we usually record in is pretty warm, so we decided to
get kind of warm with the lights.
Do it in a different area today. Also, you'll notice this is coming out quite late. But life happens.
They may not even have noticed.
They may not notice, but
that's okay.
But maybe they were jonesing for their fix of us.
Jonesing
Maybe
for their fix of us.
I mean, maybe. Who knows? I mean, I am that much of a vindictive person.
It sounded like vindictive and addictive. I don't know that sounds good for you.
Either way, I don't think that means what I think it means. However, I hear you have a game for us.
Yeah, okay, so it's a word game.
Oh, goodness.
But it's easy.
Okay.
You have to figure out what you're able to bring to the beach.
What I'm able to bring to the beach. Anything I can carry.
No.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to the beach, and I'm going to bring...
I feel like we've done this before, but it's been so long I forgot what it was about, so...
No, that was the green glass door.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to the beach, and I'm going to bring Cheetos.
Okay. That seems accurate. We take Cheetos every year to the beach. So, okay.
There you go. You say, I'm going to the beach and I'm going to bring...
Okay, I'm going to the beach and I'm going to bring my love.
No, you cannot.
Are we fighting? No. Are we breaking up?
I'm going to the beach and I'm going to bring my kite.
Okay. Are we just saying things we're going to bring, or am I supposed to figure something out?
You should figure out why I can bring stuff and why you can't. And figure out what you can take.
So no matter what I say, it's a no?
So far. We've only said one thing.
I'm going to the beach and I'm going to take myself.
Nope.
Yes. Yes, I am. No. How can I go to the beach if I'm not taking myself?
Okay. I'm going to the beach and I'm going to bring you.
No.
Yes. Now you go.
You can take me, but I can't take you?
Correct.
How does this even work?
Okay, keep going. Keep trying.
I'm going to the beach and I'm going to take sunblock. Yep. It's either that or skin cancer. You get one or the other.
Technically, no. You can't bring sunblock.
Like skin cancer it is, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to the beach and I'm going to bring sunblock. Okay, now you go. I'm trying to make it easy.
Am I dead?
No.
Okay.
Am I dead? You're a ghost, that's why I can't bring anything. That'd be funny. No, that's not it.
I mean, you're taking me. Am I in an urn? Am I like ashes? Are you about to spread me out? Like,
I've crushed you into a diamond and wearing you.
What's going on here? You're making it easy for me.
Yes. I'm going to the beach and I'm going to bring...
Because you're going by yourself?
Oh, you say, I'm going to the beach.
I'm going to the beach, and I'm going to bring... sandals.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to the beach, and I'm going to bring... sandals.
I don't get it.
But I'm making it so easy. Okay, try again.
This is so fun.
Try again.
I'm going to the beach and I'm going to bring a ball.
No.
Okay.
Okay, look at me. I'm going to the beach and I'm going to bring a ball. Now you
I don't get it. No, I don't get it. This is just frustrating. Can you please?
No.
It doesn't make sense.
Okay. I'm going to the beach and I'm going to bring a ball. Now you
No.
go.
Why?
Cuz I think you're going to get it.
No, I don't think I am.
I think you will. Continue.
I'm going to the beach and I'm going to bring my ego.
No. I'm going to the beach and I'm going to bring your ego.
Why do you keep saying
Now you try something that you're going to bring.
No,
No, I think you know it.
I'm over it. What is it?
If you say before it, you can take it.
Interesting. Okay, I'm glad this
Why do
tickled
why
your
keep saying,
fancy.
Yes, exactly. Why do I keep saying and my things get to go but yours don't?
See, I thought you were just thinking.
Every single time saying the same thing after you?
Sometimes, hey, my brain gets sometimes, so I need a little just start.
Assistance, yes, that's why I said
Start
it's
thing.
and
It's
that's okay. Let's talk about what we're drinking.
I'm not drinking anything yet, but I can tell you it looks like coffee.
My straw is wiggly. It doesn't really stir.
Tasty coffee.
I can poke it.
Tasty coffee with cream.
And maple syrup. A little bit of maple syrup.
Yeah.
And I have berries.
You look like you have a
cherry.
charcuterie in your drink.
I do. I have a drink cootery.
Yeah.
And it's a limeade.
With
A berry limeade.
very nice. And a bendy straw. Ooh la
Yeah.
la.
It's a wibbly straw. It's not really great for stirring, but you can poke at things just fine.
It's like pushing rope.
I guess if you're gonna try to do that, then sure.
Just
It's
saying
warm
that.
in here,
It's definitely warm in here.
and so it's
That's
condensating.
less warm than the other room.
That is true. Okay, what do you have?
Okay, so we've been doing some things where we're reading stories about Am I the Jerk,
Sure.
right? So I've got two today.
Oh, okay.
One shorty, one long.
Okay.
Which one would you rather like first?
Long.
Okay, then I will cue up the long one.
Okay.
Cue it.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
It says, am I the jerk for blowing up at my brother's over a $13 Mother's Day gift? That seems
Off
pretty...
the bat, maybe.
Maybe, right?
Off the bat, maybe.
Okay. I'm 25 female, the eldest of 5, raised by a single mom who placed all her expectations on me because I'm the oldest daughter and because that's just how things are in our culture. I was expected to help raise my siblings and be responsible, so I did. I learned life skills early, did well in school, and graduated with Latin honors. My brothers, especially the twins, 24 male, had a different experience. Clearly, the favorites. My mom didn't expect much from them. She'd laugh off all their bad behaviors and even used her connections to get them out of doing certain things.
Oh.
They constantly bragged about cheating or paying others to do their schoolwork, and it was all treated like a joke. When it came to the family business, I stepped back because they seemed more invested. I chose to go to med school instead, which has been financially tough, but also something my mom always dreamed for our family. Despite being in med school full time, I'm still the one she leads on when problems come up, even though they're the ones running the business. I help when I can, but I've told her repeatedly that they should be handling it.
Yeah.
Then came Mother's Day. My mom was visiting me in Manila, so I planned a surprise in advance. I bought a cake, a gift, a huge bouquet worth about $107, all paid up front. Two of my brothers, Mark and John, were with me and agreed to chip in for the cake and gift, 13 each. Separately, I coordinated with my mom's boyfriend who wanted to contribute too. After the surprise, he sent me 180 to cover the bouquet and also added a little extra as a thank you to help me out with school. Because of this, I didn't follow up with my brothers for their share and considered it settled. Which is nice, right?
Right.
But on actual Mother's Day, when she was back in the province with the boys, Mark called to ask if there was leftover money from the bouquet they could use for another gift. I told him the money had been given to me directly for the bouquet and to help me out. And if they wanted to get her something else, we could all chip in again. That's when he blew up, calling me selfish and saying I never should have asked them to contribute in the first place because I have more money.
Did they technically ever contribute, though?
They did. It's set up here.
That they actually gave 13, or they just agreed to give 13?
No. Excuse me. It says Mark and John were with me and agreed to chip in for a cake, $13 separately. After this, so I'm assuming since they agreed, they gave it to her. Mm-hmm. Right? And then after they get back to the area where they're staying, they want to give another gift. And he asked if there was anything left over.
They gave $13. No, there's
Yeah.
not anything left over.
Well, evidently the boyfriend let the boys know that he gave extra.
Yeah, but he told her that it was for everything she did and to help her out.
Yes.
Great.
But obviously, Mark doesn't see it that way.
No, he does not.
Okay? Because she has more money. I was livid. I told him if he's broke, it's because he doesn't know how to handle money. I worked my butt off for 2 years before med school to save money. They have nothing to show for their choices, but somehow always have money for gambling, vapes, and girlfriends, but not $13 for a gift for our mom. I told him their failures because they've never taken anything seriously. No drive, no accountability, no goals, and that they'll run the family business to the ground.
Yeesh.
Youch. Now they're upset, saying that I am a jerk for throwing all of this in their face, and my mom says I was a dog for not understanding their situation. I know their capabilities are limited due to their upbringing, but they're adults. Shouldn't they at least learn how to save money? Am I being a bad sister?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either, just for the fact that not only did they agree to the thing, and because somebody else was trying to be nice and help you out, not by much for med school and stuff, right?
Right.
That they think that they're entitled to that money
Right.
somehow.
I mean, just because...
Well, that's just like saying, oh, yeah, we paid for mom's gift, but since somebody else gave a bunch of money, now we want our money back to not actually contribute to mom's gift.
Right. If her boyfriend's just going to pay for the whole thing, then we would like to put our name on the card and get our money back,
Right.
please.
Right.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I mean, it was sweet that they wanted to get her another gift on actual
Yeah.
Mother's Day,
Sure.
but that $13 is gone.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
Like-
$13. And I understand, like, some people say that. I mean, I could see how some people would say that they are stunted because they were never taught how to do things because they were never expected to. However, your upbringing does not determine necessarily your future. And you can, I mean, they did a study with, well, I don't know if it was fully a study, but they watched the set of twins and they had the same upbringing and they grew up with the same family. They like had similar experiences. They were twins. They did everything together. And one went on to be very successful and one went to jail. And when asked like, hey, like what happened? And they both gave the same answer. I was raised like this. How could I not end up like this? And it all depends on your outlook, on the reality that's around you. Are you a victim or are you a victor? And it sounds like these twins could use a little bit of time to learn how to do things. Because just because you weren't taught doesn't mean that it's an excuse to not know something later.
Right.
Like there's, you're an adult now. If there's something you want to know, then you need to.
Well, and everybody
Figure out how to get
goes
that.
through that, right? Even if you
Yes.
have a determined mindset, there still is a thing of like you have to learn how to do things and
Yeah.
continue to grow up, right? And
Yeah.
you let your past inform your future for the better, right? Not to make it worse, because they're letting their past inform their future for the worst, right? It's informed that they don't have to do anything and things are going to be handed to them, or
Right.
they can just get away with stuff. And unfortunately, the mother is also perpetuating that by now getting on the sister.
I am a little nervous for their future spouses.
Right. Right. But on the other hand, right, there, it all depends on, because we're only getting one side of the story, right?
Yeah.
But you also have to understand that maybe she came on strong. Maybe it was bottled up and bubbled over, right? So OP offers this explanation as to why she might be the jerk, right? I think I'm the jerk for cussing my brothers out despite knowing their inability to do certain things because of the way they were brought up. I legitimately feel like I might be a bad sister for telling them all of this despite staying silent for so long. My mom telling me that I was cruel and I wasn't being understanding enough also made me feel guilty about the things I said. Maybe it was too harsh, but I was just too upset at the moment. And I think, okay, you can be sad for how you said the things.
Yes.
You can be sad that it took you so long that you bottled it up and that you exploded.
Yes, that was not kind.
That was not a good thing.
And said mean things.
Right. Because it's another thing, though, that obviously the mom is not seeing the full picture. She's got some rosy colored glasses on.
Yeah, she's still protecting her babies.
Right. Because, which they're only a year apart from the female. Right.
Yeah, I know.
And that not being understanding enough of their situation. Well, it sounds like she's been bottling for a long time,
Right.
which means she was trying to be understanding, and then it just got to a point where she blew up.
Right.
But this is a healthy time for her to set boundaries for her whole family.
It is a great time for them to start having conversations now that it's out.
Yep.
Yeah. I do think that she wasn't the nicest. It could have been said in a different way, but I also understand someone making claims to your character when you have been doing everything for the family. And now you're being told that you're being a bad sister. The amount that you would explode just out of just out of like hurt, not even so much anger, just hurt, everything, so that makes, and OP means original poster
Yes.
for people. I was like, what is OP? So I'm racking my brain to think.
Not overpowered like in video games.
That doesn't, no, didn't even think of that one.
I'm just putting it out there, right? It's not like a OP shotgun in the original Call of Duty. That just means overpowered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. What's the next
Gotta
one?
be hip with the lingo.
Yeah, that's not me.
So this next one is a short one.
Okay.
It says, am I the jerk for asking my sister-in-law to rub sunscreen on my back when I have back knee?
Okay. I mean, off the bat, no.
Okay. I, 31 female, have really bad back acne. I was going to the beach with my mom, 53 female, my brother, 28 male, and my brother's wife, 26 female. I don't know my sister-in-law very well, but she seems very sweet. She had offered to rub sunscreen on my mom. After sister-in-law was finished with my mom, I asked sister-in-law if she can rub sunscreen on my back. She said she was happy to, and she did. But that evening, my brother confronted me. He said his wife has many issues, including social anxiety. He said she has a problem with saying no. He said she told him how uncomfortable she felt putting sunscreen on my back. He told me it was inconsiderate of me to ask someone who's not in healthcare to touch diseased skin.
Oh.
Sister-in-law continued being very sweet to me and my mom. My brother seemed cold with me, and he was very protective of his wife. Am I the jerk?
No. I think you don't know each other very well. Maybe you could have asked your mother instead. But I don't think you're a jerk for it. I think... I mean, there's a difference between having back knee and back knee where, like, if you touch it, it explodes. Like, there was a guy that I played football with, and his back, like, if you were to, like, give him a, like, slap his back, you would come away with a wet hand. But, like, but still, in the middle of, like, 2-a-days, if he were to have said, like, hey, can somebody put sunscreen on? Like, it would have been, okay, sure. And then you just go wash your hands. Like, I had back knee, not like that, but I had back knee, and I don't know, like, I guess it's not, maybe it's just not that big of a deal to me. But, like, if my sister-in-law were to say, like, hey, can you put on sunblock for me? And she had back knee, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, but you're also not weirded out by things like that, right? So,
I mean, I don't love bodily fluids, so it wouldn't gross me out if they were popping all
but
over.
you also, it doesn't say anything that they were popping. It just says that it was bad.
Bad back knee, yeah.
Right. And it's also something that you've dealt with before.
Yeah.
Right? So, it could have been, and you're just a considerate person. So, to me, like, I wouldn't want to touch anybody in the first place. So that's where, to me, I'm like, you're not a jerk for asking. It's a little sad that the person didn't feel okay enough to say, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
It also would feel very weird if she were to say, yeah, I'm not going to do that when she had already done it for the mom.
Yes. So I could see how she would feel like you might as well. But on the other hand, your brother coming up to me like, well, she's socially awkward. Okay, but like, we're family.
Uh-huh.
And
Right.
I understand that we don't know each other very well, but it's either she's okay with it and she, like, you came and talked to me about it.
Mm-hmm.
She's still acting fine.
Right.
And you're the one that's acting, like, upset about it. Well, then let's have a conversation. Because now both of you are having feelings and it's not being addressed.
Right. Well, and I guess the weird part could be the fact that she says at the beginning she doesn't know her very well.
Right.
So I think that might cause some pause, right? And also maybe the conversation that was being had between the sister-in-law and the brother could have been just a confidential marital conversation that he didn't need to blow up.
Possibly.
Right?
Or, I mean, maybe the 31-year-old, the sister, maybe in a way to, like, let her guard down and be in a vulnerable position, put herself and her insecurity out there to her sister-in-law.
Right.
So that it was showing, like, you know.
It was providing a time to bond, right? Because you always tend to bond with people that when you're doing things for one another or you're doing a project together, right? So yeah, I could definitely see that, right? But some of the comments in here, their ratings of like how much, where you're at on the spectrum, so to speak, of being a jerk.
Oh,
being a jerk.
The jerk spectrum.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this person put a soft jerk, right?
Okay.
It's a little weird to ask someone you don't know well to rub sunscreen on your back, even if you don't have acne.
Yeah.
You may have put her in an uncomfortable position where she likely felt obliged to do what you asked. Furthermore, your mom was there. She's someone who is much closer to you. You should have just asked her. Although your brother is a jerk calling acne diseased skin.
Yeah, that's not nice.
Acne is a skin condition that's not contagious. You didn't put your sister-in-law at risk by asking her to touch your back. You just asked her to do something that many people might find unpleasant, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, kudos to the sister-in-law for continuing to act sweet and stuff, because that could have turned real bad real quick. Be like, no, I'm not touching your back. It's gross.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
I'm sorry. I do agree. Like, your mom was there.
Right.
So, I mean, I could understand, like, oh, well, she just did my mom's. Could she do mine too? Mm-hmm. I do understand like, you could have just asked your mom. Until you know her better, maybe don't present something so vulnerable like that. Mm-hmm. Don't, like, put someone in a position where it might be a little uncomfy until you know them better. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you could have said sunscreen train, right? Uh-huh. And just sat in front of your mom.
Right.
And just, like, had it all done right then and there. But inevitably, like the two of them need to talk, and the brother should have encouraged his wife to go and talk, like if it made her uncomfortable,
Right.
because that would also do wonders for their relationship.
Right. It'll
But-
allow them to become friends instead of just friendly.
This person had a hot take that I don't really I think this person is over the top the other way.
Okay.
It says, I can't imagine asking someone I don't know very well to touch me at all, much less an acne-riddled back.
Riddled.
Her offering and you putting her on the spot and asking aren't the same thing. Why the heck couldn't your mom do it? Or your brother? You're the jerk. No, I don't
Like,
I don't necessarily agree with the vitriol that he has in this situation, but also I would just go without sunscreen.
if it came down to it, you'd be like, it's probably good for the acne anyway. Just let it ride.
I just burn it off.
Burn it. We'll just peel all the pimples off at the end of the day.
Right. Right. And I think that's more of the thing too, is like not everybody's just comfortable touching other people. Right.
Yeah.
And that's where is necessarily the problem. It was just, I think a brother and sister going, to the extreme of like, you're acne riddled or you're
Diseased
skin.
Yeah. And she
Right.
might have been offering her mother-in-law because it was like something that she could do for her
Yeah.
and get her like, for them to have some time together and relationship and
And maybe they actually have a more of a relationship, right? Like we don't know the whole dynamics of the whole thing. Like this, soft, you're the jerk, but your brother is worse. As others have said, it's a little weird to ask someone you don't know to do that, especially if your mom is right there. I have a hard time touching people I do know well, let alone a near stranger. But your brother was rude as heck with his confrontation, so he sucks more than you.
it's always a competition.
Right. Anyway, those
That's
were
funny.
the stories that we had for this week. Thank you for listening to our random game. A game, I guess.
It was a game and you lost.
I did lose terribly. Spectacularly, one might say. And also listening to us react to some stories.
Yeah.
They're fun.
What do you think? Are these people jerks?
Yeah. There's definitely jerks within the stories, but I don't know if it's necessarily the person who wrote down the words.
Yeah. I think, yeah,
I think
maybe.
in the first one, of all of it, like,
Just the blow up.
yeah, the blow up is bad, but there's a radio show that has a thing where they do 3 different stories, and they're like, who sucks less? Like, so they're all bad stories.
Sure.
But you're ranking these 3 stories on who sucks the least,
Okay.
right? And
So who would you rank in these two?
these 2, so this one's kind of hard, right?
Right.
Because one seems like a pretty simple, easy fix, and the other one's going to take like a lot to like. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think the sunscreen sucks the least. Because it's going to be a lot easier to fix that if they actually tackle it.
Yeah.
Because they're still new and they're getting to know each other, right? Where I think the other one sucks more because of the fact that it took so long for a potential growth moment in their relationship to happen.
Yeah. It's
Right.
going to take a minute.
Right.
They're going to have some convos.
So in that aspect, I think sunscreen only because it seems young in the relationship.
Yeah. It's a little bit of an easier fix.
It would be
From
different.
an understanding.
It would be different if she knew, like, not only does the sister-in-law not like touching people, but also has an aversion to, like, potential fluids and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Or if they have, what's the one where they like have a fear of holes, like a bunch of holes on someone's
Right.
body, and there's like pictures where they do like this lotus that has like tons of holes, and then they superimpose it onto a hand, and so the hand looks like tons of holes. And one of my old coworkers, she had that, and we saw something and she was like, oh no, 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 no. And she said sometimes it's because of the holes, but sometimes it's the fear of what's inside the holes is like grosses her out. It's like, what is inside there that's making it do that? Or what might be hiding. Anyway, so if she had a fear of holes and you just gave her a bunch of pimples, that would have been unkind.
a bunch of really deep pop marks.
That would have been unkind to be like, hey, what do you think of this? And she's like,
Right.
oh no,
Right.
my biggest fear.
So there could be a way where the sunscreen would be suck more, but for what the information we have, she
For
does
the
not.
information we have. Anyway, what do you guys think?
And go ahead, like, subscribe, all that fun jazz,
Yeah.
and we will see you again next week. Bye.
Bye.